Hello, and welcome to The Hardest Part, the show that unravels the stories behind some of the hardest songs ever written. I'm Kieran Banerjee, and on today's show, I joined deep sea diver at Third Man Records in London, Soho, to talk about their song, Shovel.
Yeah, so we brought Shovel, and it was one of the singles on the record, and we brought this song because it was initially the easiest song that had ever come, but we took it to a completely different place, scrapped it almost 3 times. It almost didn't make the record, and then I guess we'll explain why as we go through.
Let's start with why it didn't make the record in the first place.
When we first started recording this album, we had this LA session that we did where we're like, all right, we've got these 11 songs, we're gonna do it. And this one was the hardest one to wrangle because initially it was like this when I first wrote it, it was all based around this like guitar part that sounded very much like a dirge, or like I was trying to write this kind of Sonic Youth, Nick Cave, dry cleaning kind of spoken word kind of thing around this one note. And it was swung, the demo was so different than what it ultimately became. And then we were messing around with this like almost Gorillaz meets Robin, Kate Bush type electronic outro.
And very different inspirations.
Very different.
Yeah.
And we just didn't care because it was just the demo and we were just kind of throwing things together. And then when we brought it to the studio, we were having a hard time as a band making it work. Sometimes when we record stuff, it's like, oh, this sounds awesome. And then you put it in a room and it's like, I don't know how to make this translate at all. And so we ended up just like going harder on smashing I call it my Nick Cave meets Robin song. Just like really atonal meets very, very poppy in the choruses. Sometimes the pop is really hard for us to make it land, and I think that's what we were dealing with when we first started recording the song. I don't know, you could talk more about the LA session stuff, but or whatever you have to say.
I feel like it can be hard when 2 elements that are so disparate to try to make them fit into the same world, and to create a world of consistency while maintaining these 2 very different worlds in and of themselves. So I think whenever we tried to find their place on the recording, they would always just trip us up, and sometimes it would just make me feel sick inside. It's just like, there's something wrong. There's something that's not connecting here. And so there was like, we recorded it, then we re-recorded it, and I was ready to throw it away because it just was making me feel sick. And
usually that's when you go like, oh, okay, that's not a good sign. Like, we're gonna move away from this. And we really truly did. It wasn't until when we moved beyond those sessions and scrapped a bunch of stuff, I ended up working with my co-producer, Andy Park. We worked together on Impossible Weight, the last record. He heard the promise in the song, kind of was just like, I played it in a room, just kind of almost stripped down like I did here, but without any keys. And he's like, no, I think something's there. And he ended up recording some new things with us and taking some of the LA session stuff that we had completely abandoned. And he made a mix of it. And that was the first time we heard it. We were like, oh yeah.
I heard it on one iPhone AirPod, and I knew it was there. And I said, this is right. And it feels like...
That's the test, if it's just one AirPod.
It was, yeah. Okay. And so it was just like in its very lowest grade form. And I think I believed in it the whole time, but I just got so tripped out that it wasn't working yet, because I believed in the song so much that sometimes you could develop an unhealthy relationship with something because you have so much expectation connected with that thing of just like, oh, this could be amazing. And then, you are all going along the path and it's like, I don't think that's quite right. I don't think that's quite right. No. And then it's like, you start losing and unraveling because you have too much invested in it. And sometimes you just need to let go. So I think even just like being ready to scrap it freed us from it. So we were ready to just say, you're not welcome on the record. And then it's just like, but then there was this little voice in the song that was like, but I'm really good. It's like, you are really good. Then we heard the little one AirPod mix and it's like, yes. And it was so celebratory.
So when Andy came to it, had it already been scrapped 3 times by that point?
Just that once, actually.
Only once.
In LA,
so then we tried to re-record it with him, and it was not feeling right either. But then he somehow smashed the 2 together. And kind of like the nature of the song is 2 things that are smashed together. Like, I think the essence of the song needs 2 disparate things that you just mash together and somehow they miraculously work. And so that's sort of fitting with the essence of the song. That's what happened.
So then after that, there must be then one more scrap then. So then what happened between that version and then the version that made it to the record?
I ended up recutting the vocal, and I think that was it after it. It was just kind of believed and went. I really truly did had like a couple of vocal inspirations for this song. Like I already mentioned Kate Bush, Bjork was one of them as well. And like I said earlier, the Nick Cave thing is just like, how extreme can I stretch the vocal? And
I think even like Nine Inch Nails, you know, just like the pushing things so far in like that bridge section where things start breaking up. And it's just like almost like it collapses things because you're pushing so hard, which almost feels like your voice was like creating like a distortion because you were like going for it so hard.
I think we actually distorted the vocal too, so.
Well, I think it was also the way that you were singing.
So when you first played it to Andy, what were his notes on it? What did he identify as something that couldn't be scrapped here?
Well, I think he heard like, when we played it for him, we left out some of the synth stuff. Like I have this line, the do-no-no, in the chorus that goes throughout. I don't think we played it in a lot of the stripped down versions, but he heard that and he was like, dude, this chorus comes alive with that stuff. And he's very much into the synth world of things, but he also understands, like, he's heard us enough times to be like, I've heard you guys before, that's not it. Let's try this. Like, and he's really all about capturing the spirit. And so, yeah, I think he pushed the synth stuff harder, which just kind of, you know, gave it all the ear candy it needed.
And he was really free with, he has fun just putting little sounds in. So hearing, you know, him resample some of my drum, like, and kind of like manipulating them and putting them in a different ear. So it's just like, when we heard it back, it felt alive again. And because like you're, I think, wanting to capture something that is alive and feels good and you believe in, because when you believe in the thing, it's easier to like enter that world and get behind it. But if there's any part of you that starts wavering in your belief that the thing is good, then it just collapses. Yeah. And so there was many collapsible moments, but once we heard that initial mix, it was just like, great. And not only did you get it, but like we knew that he should mix the rest of the record as a result of tackled such a monster and was able to wrangle it and make it so beautiful that we were so excited to have him do the rest of the album as a result.
We've spoken a little bit about the production of the song and some of the sort of problems when bringing it to the final record. Let's go all the way to the origins of writing the song. Yeah. Can you take us to sort of that moment and what's the song about firstly?
Yeah, so this is one of the most unique writing experiences I've ever had. It was basically, I was really into a lot of writing exercises at the time. I was reading like Jeff Tweedy's book, How to Write One Song. I had a book called Writing Better Lyrics. That's a really cheesy name, but it was gifted by a friend in the band, Pedro the Lion, and he said, this has been really helping me. So I tried this exercise that was like basically using your 5 senses, and then there's 2 more. It's like, I think it's called organic and kinesthetic. It's like, I could get into it, but you're not supposed to try to write a song. You just choose an object or generate one online, whatever. Don't think about it too hard, and then use all of those 7 senses to describe that object.
Wow, okay.
I think I had a generated one on like, at the website, it was just like shovel. So took that and you write for 10 minutes and then you stop. You can't go on and you don't try to be floral with it's not a song. It's just like, it's to open up how you talk about things. And so I would never have chosen to write a song about a shovel. Yeah. And the song isn't about a shovel. Basically what came out was much deeper, I think. It's like subconscious. And so pretty much the lyrics as they stand are what was written, minus maybe like 1 or 2 phrases. When it came out, I remember I showed him and he was like tearing up. He's like, this is a song. Like this feels really emotional to me and I think you should just put it to song. So we went downstairs and I started looping that like first guitar line and just kind of spoken word, singing the stuff. And he was playing a drum beat and this is when it was more swung. And
it had a lot of F words in it.
Nice.
Yeah, and that was the origin of the song, which is, it's a rare moment to have something that's like, so like kind of dropped in your lap at first. And feels complete in terms, like lyrically at least. Yeah. And so, because I love not overthinking it, and it's painful when it's the opposite. So, yeah. So it's amazing, like to me, that it kind of dropped in the lap. It felt like, but then it was a real process to get it over the finish line.
I imagine though, even getting to the place where you were able to freely write from that subconscious zone, was its own undertaking to get to that place of freedom in your own artistic.
Maybe so. I think it's just like when I'm not, it's like it tricked me. It's like, you're doing an exercise.
Yeah.
So I like to be tricked, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you first heard the song, what was it that touched you so deeply about it?
I think it was a very vulnerable place. And I think sometimes when you write a song, especially for an album, you can present a side of yourself that you want people to see. And sometimes that's not the best thing to present at all, because it's like it could be fabricated. It could have artificiality to it. And so when you're writing just for the sake of writing, or more out of a sense of like it being kind of a diary, or you might be more real and deeper things might come out. And so I saw a lot of Jessica's struggles of, self-worth, or inner critic, these things of just these deep frustrations and wanting to destroy them, like as being, this poignant and bold, like bringing to the surface and like looking at it and calling it out, and
even like the
making it
main lyric is like, you'll be taken care of, is like double entendre with like trying to like sing that back to myself, and also like, I'm gonna kill you, the critic.
Yeah,
So.
'cause I think there's like two parts of us. There's like this really deep inner child part of us that is kind of pure and playful and artistic and free, and then there's this part of us that we take on that is more critical and pessimistic, cynical, and this voice, the cynic voice, gets really loud, and as we get older and older, and we believe less and less in ourselves and in the world and in goodness and in beauty and things. And so to fight, to say, you'll be taken care of, I'm gonna kill you, to the critic, and you'll be taken care of, like you'll be protected, to the child, I thought was just such a beautiful kind of like double entendre.
So I finished all these interviews with the same question.
Yeah.
And it comes from this place where an artist I really like, they had a new album out, everyone was saying it was great, I gave it a listen, I thought it was really shit, and I was a bit disappointed by it, and then everyone was like, yeah, but you need to listen to this one specific track. Once again, didn't hit for me. And then I heard a podcast about him explaining the song, and he brought up all these very specific nuances in the vocal performance and how that related to what the song was actually about. And it became like an exercise that I sort of started asking everyone about, artists of all types. The audience are about to hear the stripped back version of the track you brought with you today. Is there anything specific you want them to listen out to, which is going to change the way they experience the track?
For me, like the crunchiness of Jessica's vocals, of just like everything is so tangible, like where it's just like you feel every part of her voice, and the breadth of the dynamic of the whole thing. She goes really quiet and gets really loud, and it's like it crackles, but it's also smooth at points. So it's just like understanding like this huge arc of her voice and emotion, and everything is in the voice. It's just, I think that is a really special thing for me.
I'm carrying a shovel, it's pointed at the tip, like Mount Everest. Like Mount Everest, and I'm working my way through shards of soil. I'm carrying a shovel. I'm carrying a shovel. All this time I hate myself for losing my grip. Put you underground now, I'm not sure of it. Be taken care of. I'm blistered. Now ticks in my hands are full of bruised and I'm blistered. Now ticks in my hands are full of bruised and I'm blistered. No ticks in my hands are full of bruised and I'm blistered. No ticks in my hands are full of bruised and I'm blistered. No ticks in my hands are full of.
Thanks for tuning in to The Hardest Part. Make sure to leave us a review and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. We're on all major podcast platforms, including YouTube. Until next time, I'm Kieran Banerjee. We'll see you then.